The ways to salvation. Garuda said, O Lord Narayana, you have now gracefully described how a being come into the world. Please also tell me how anyone can attain moksha, the salvation or the final releases. Because this world is full of allurement which deserves one from reaching the aim. So eternal Lord, please tell me as to how can one get the salvation. By elaborating one of the fact that all beings come to the world at the Lord Hadashiva inkling, the Lord said, now I tell you the way that one can attain moksha. First I tell you how a being um, graduates from the lower to higher species. The lowest was the form of inanimate object, then ascent, then tree, then bird, then animal, then a man in that order. Those humans can lead a righteous life, get the divine specified, and explore the divinities in the final stage before a soul salvation. There are four types of being: Viviparous, Antaraja, sprouting from the birth of the ground, Utipija, the sweat-born Svedaja, and the egg-born Andaja. The being repeatedly gets birth and death, and only in their birth do some of them succeed to get the human form. A form is a and finally, it is a self realized man who gets a final salvation after soul movement through most than entire 84 lakh species. However, the human body haven't developed a brain. Human body has a developed brain as could give the being or the soul real knowledge of existence. He who doesn't act righteously in the fact, fool and downs who lets go the chance of improve in the statue in vain. Human affect is a great sym- symptom of the brain intelligence. Man must use the opportunity to earn more merit, but a man shouldn't be infatuated towards his body, which is fake. Instead, he should try to contemplate on Supreme Being through a medium of Atma, which is a rare source available to him. However, the curious enough, even a leper remains attached to his transcendent body. This way, most of the being lose a rare opportunity given to them to improve one gentle statue at overall count. Even though he sees the other fellows being committing a silly mistake, he learns nothing from them and keeps on repeating the same mistake himself. He knows that the entire existence is so fickle on the bubble of water, but he still pays more attention on the physical fulfillment and not the spiritual upliftment. Even the wind should be pound and the sky should be divided, but it is impossible to rely upon the transient age. Time rules roost here is a mortal world. No matter what one may plan, a single moment can upset the entire planet. No mortal can escape the hands of time. The mortal world has a variety of potential grief, and who has get above the physical world drives a real advantage of the human existence. The way a fish doesn't look at nail in the bait, but at the tempting food and thus get the last hook. Same way a man doesn't see the torture waiting him at Yamarajam, but feels drawn towards a worldly delight. It is the bounden duty of all men to understand the faith, as well as while sticking to its own in observing Varashram Vijayavastha. It is my Maya. This taste everyone insight and these who see through it and doesn't divide from the path of eventually reach me. No matter the parancers one accomplish, but until one realize the basic objective of human life, one cannot get over the sensual temptation. The real ascetic is the one who doesn't as much care of dental lock or a deer skin, but the final realization. No outward endures can take one to me. It is only the inner realization that gives access to one to reach me. Oh Garuda, he who satiated by drinking nectar doesn't need any other diet. The same way, one who realizes their secret of salvation and act accordingly doesn't need to worship ritual or live in an ordinated conduct even. Knowledge is believed to have two forms of enlightenment. One through the study of books and holy scripts, and other through acquiring personal knowledge. But the true knowledge is that liberates. He who has his knowledge drawn on him doesn't fear death when feels is approaching. In the situation, one should leave one home and take a bath in a holy titra, then wearing a deer skin and sit in kusha as sana and start chanting the holy syllabus Om or Omkar. He who start feeling the communion with the Supreme Being by repeatedly calling I am Him, I am Him. He who sheds his moral coil this way gets salvation and merges his soul with me. Garuda asked again, which are those tirthas that one should go to when census is in approaching? Lord Narayana said, a salvation bestowed tirthas are seven: Ayodhya, Mathura, Kaushi, Kaya, Kanchi, Abanika, Dwara, Ati, Dwarika. Now I have told you all about the ways one may get salvation. What else do you want to know? Garuda bestowed repeatedly in reverence to the Lord and said, Lord, please also enlighten me on the ideal conduct that a man should follow. What should he do to maintain a right conduct? Lord Narayana said, after getting knowledge from the Shruti, Vedas, and Smriti, a personal experience, one should act truthfully, one should act magnificently, one should act with consideration of all, while following one's faith and doing the right ritual as ordinated by scriptures. The Brahmanan should perform yagra and spread knowledge, as Kshatriya should rule efficiently, ensure no injustice is perpetrated during his rule. A Vaishya must honestly do his business without cheating anyone. The right conduct of Shudra is to serve the other three categories with full devotion. Secondly, each one of them must observe one familiar duties, satisfy one all relation to the best of own ability. Having done so at about the time that one thing that one has done so, one should leave the Grihastha ashram and enter Vana Prasada ashram, in which he should get rid of worldly alignment and bond totally to concentrate on one's spiritual upliftment. He must start living in the hermitage and taking advantage of sheer knowledge and staying with him. He should fill his belly with whatever fruits, etc., and he finds easily available. When he thinks that he has gone get got over the worldly allurement, he must prepare entire the fourth and the final ashrama, ashrama called sannyas ashrama. This is a stage when one sees the whole universe permeated with just one existence. With the result, this relationship with everyone's live an inanimate being. Even in the stage, he should not dwell even in the hermitage, but keep roaming about and relaxing during the nights beneath the tree. He must not save anything from the future because indifferent to all the relation and identification of the self, he must concentrate on realization of the self. This covers the various stages in general. However, among them, the most difficult one is Grihasha ashrama. In this, he not only has to look after his worldly duties but also to ensure that he doesn't neglect his truthfulness and pity. Grihasha, Grihasha should take bath thrice a day, and each time it should be followed by Sandhya, the prayer of drenching the day, morning, evening, and before nightfall. For brahmachari, bath and worship once a day is enough. In every worship, the following things being or I think or being should be given attention to Brahmana, a cow, a Kaushana, a goal, a ghee, a son, a water, a ruler of the religion. He must ensure that not only he, but also the members of the family, including the guests, are well fed and well looked after. He must honestly earn his weather withal. There are three ways that one should receive money from the ancestral property, from someone gifted out of love, the one received from his wife's side, from personal earning, a windfall, and from the son, from the king. But the Brahmanan, there are only three avenues of getting money from begging, from the knowledge, or from donation. The Kshatriya, the kings, also gets from the avenue, from the taxes, from the penal imposed upon the others as the king, and the money won from the victory expedition. The same way the traders also get three sources from agriculture, from business, and from money as an interest on investment. The king, Kshatriya, could get help from them without any inhibition because they sort of counter financial services and the ruler carries no stigma. But everyone should ensure nobody is absorbing anybody's share. One should live cleanly, taking a bath every day and observing one study feeling full and justly from a pity and point of view. However, there is much important given to keeping vow, particularly keeping the fast of a Dakshi day, resulting once becoming the bestowed of Lord Vishnu. Moreover, he who desires the grace of Lakshmi must use Alma in clearing his body and taking bath every morning when the time drawn from one's breaking fast. One should again take bath and starting his meal by taking sweet edibles. Then he may have a salted cereal based food. These items that have bitter, sour, and pungent taste must be eaten in the end. The meal should always be washed down with milk. He who lead the life that this way, doing all his job honestly and fulfilling all his duty honestly, eventually receive the highest state, a Brahmata, when he quiets his moral coil.